Morgan Ortagus is the former State Department spokeswoman in the Trump administration. Friend of the show, joins us live here on the Hill. Hello, Morgan. Thanks for being back. Appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. Good to be back. It's a good day.
You got it. Yeah, busy day. So let's start with immigration. You just heard Ali there. You were the spokesperson at the State Department for the Trump administration. Where do you think Donald Trump goes first, and what do you think he keys in on with immigration?
Well, Ali covered it really comprehensively, actually, and the several times that I've been to the southern border in the past year, Ali has come by and covered the event as well. And so I think she was right on the money about the various policies that you could likely expect President Trump to enact. I think the better way to look at it is sort of, you could go through individual policies, but there's a couple of key indicators of where the president is going as it relates towards immigration. One, who does he pick for DHS secretary? That person will obviously have to, as Alexandra Mayorkas has done, have to answer some very tough questions from Capitol Hill. But there's a lot of people like Chad Wolf and others who have a lot of experience there. But what's really important about the southern border, we know that he's going to want to try to finish the wall. We know things like, I would say likely things like the CBP One app, which essentially just lets people into the country. That's why we had less people at the southern border, because they were just going on the app and getting a court date. If you're circumventing the legal process, whatever the policy is, I think you can likely expect a second Trump term to not allow policies that's actually circumventing the law.
Morgan, let me show you the map here worldwide. You know this, but for our viewers here on NewsNation or those listening to us on SiriusXM, whoever was going to win the presidency, this was before them, whether they want it or not. There's the war in Ukraine, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, in the Middle East, Israel and Hezbollah, Israel fighting against, pushing back against Hamas, the war there. You've been talking about this, Morgan, more than anyone I know. The Houthis in Yemen, and they continue to fire off rockets. Iran, right, which is the main player in all of this. ISIS-K, we've talked about this before, the resurgence there in the Middle East. A possible invasion from China of Taiwan, and we haven't even talked about North Korea yet. And that's just some of it. That's some of the lay of the land. What do you think, when you look at this map, what do you see, and how do you think Donald Trump views it?
Well, certainly there's a lot of fires burning around the world that you're going to have to deal with. You know, President Biden, there's one president at a time. He's still there until January 20th. So you sort of have to start to see how the world shapes up as President Trump gets closer. Listen, the Middle East is, there's so much on fire, and you just named it. I would say there's two big things that I'm looking at right now, and that's Iran and China. So why Iran? Iran has done something totally unprecedented, which is they've tried to kill the Republican nominee for president, and now the man who will be the 47th president of the United States. They funded anti-Semitic protests around the country. They've been interfering in our election at an unprecedented scales. They did everything that everyone thought Russia wanted to do. They did that and basically put it on fire. So there's a lot of countries, China, Russia, Iran, who need to be held accountable for the election interference they did this year. But it is beyond the pale that a foreign hostile state has tried to kill the current nominee and his former cabinet. That has to be dealt with. Similarly, as it relates to China, according to Josh Rogin from the Washington Post, the Biden administration has known about the most comprehensive cyber attack by the Chinese Communist Party that affected, reportedly, again, according to the Post, Donald Trump and so many of his top campaign deputies, J.D. Vance, et cetera. The Biden administration has known about this since August. It didn't become public until last week, 1 week before the election. So China has to be held accountable for this. If you go through and start to read what the Washington Post details, again, this is what we only know publicly, but intelligence community members from the Senate intelligence community from both sides of the aisle are raising the alarm and saying this is basically the worst cyber attack that they've seen. So China also has tried to interfere in our election and is trying to take provocative moves towards us. Again, that has to be dealt with. The fact that this has gone on since August and has gone unanswered by the Biden team is inappropriate.
Morgan, we could go nation by nation, area by area, but gotta leave it there. Again, just some, just some of, you don't, presidents don't get to choose many of the issues. They get to choose some, but not all of them, right? And the reality is, as you know, Morgan, this is what is before Donald Trump, we believe, at least standing here 75 days from now. I got to leave it there. Morgan, great to see you as always. Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.